Today Red Dead Redemption 2 marks its 4 years anniversary. But don't expect any sort of celebration from Rockstar, they will probably not even mention this. But we, fans, can do something, for example share our experience with this game, with this masterpiece. You can do it in comments and I will make it here in this video. We'll share my experience, and yes, as a part of celebration I'm wearing Artur Morgan's costume. It's a cosplay, at least I tried to do it, you know, I have a similar shirt, even suspenders, this thing, I don't know, it's a scarf, and a hat. I've made it myself. Not like I've made it myself obviously, but I bought a hat and bought a robe and, you know, combined them together so it should look like the hat that Artur Morgan is wearing here. But on me it looks silly, I have no idea how to wear hats so they look cool, but anyway, whatever. So I remember how 4 years ago when this game was released I was waiting for a starting time and then I jumped in immediately, and I was amazed by the level of graphics at first. You know, the snow, I'm pretty sure you remember the snow. And keep in mind, I was playing on Xbox One, not Xbox One S, nothing fancy like that, just an old regular Xbox One. It's not the most powerful console on the market, and if I remember correctly, Red Dead Redemption was not even running in full HD, but still, graphics was the best that I've ever seen. It was immediate wow effect, and then it only was amplified by the open world that I saw. How it looks, how it feels, graphics, physics, everything. It was extremely immersive. I really remember well this feeling of a world that I always wanted to visit. You know, when I was a kid I really loved Western movies, because it was the only movies that I was able to watch on TV except for Soviet movies, but anyway, I remember all these old classic Westerns with Clint Eastwood, and not only. But anyway, having a game like that with such world, with such atmosphere was always a dream, but it never happened until 2018. For the first few days I was playing almost non-stop, reached the end of chapter 2 and I was exploring everything, learning, just hunting, but then because of, you know, things that happened in real life I had to take a break. Quite a big break, to be honest, because I had almost no time to play at all. And I don't know about you, but I love to consume games at once, like play day after day for a lot, not to play for a few hours per week. Anyway, when I had enough time, already it was like month later and Red Dead Online came out and I decided to try it, and you know, since these games share the same world, I stayed there. One of the reasons was that I love online games, but even more important is that story of Red Dead Redemption 2 was not something catchy for me personally at the beginning, mostly because I was feeling hard to relate to the main protagonist, Artur Morgan. If you remember, he's a really rude and I would even say unlikable person in the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2 story. Yes, it was made on purpose to show his development, to show his arc, to show his redemption in a sense, but it was really hard to relate to the main character. That's why I was not enjoying this story like too much at the beginning, and the biggest part for me was an open world, and since in online it's pretty much the same open world, I switched to online and stayed there for a few years. And it was probably a mistake. Now I see that it was a mistake, because last year I decided to finally complete Red Dead Redemption 2 story. I've made it on my streams, and you know what, if you will give some time to Artur Morgan, you will love this character. When I finally decided to play the story, it got me like almost addicted. I remember very well how for each stream I was planning to stream for like 2.5 hours, because it's kinda hard for me to stream more, but it always, pretty much always ended up with a 3.5 or even 4 hour stream. I just couldn't stop. I was playing, completing main story, completing side quests, and yes, side quests here are also amazing. It's not some generic trash, it's small stories, sometimes on the same level as the main story. And as I've already said, main story in my opinion is a masterpiece. It has an extremely high level of storytelling, at least for first 5 chapters, because in my opinion, and yes, it's a controversial topic, but chapter 6 is weaker. However, episode where you play as John Marston, sorry for spoiler, I also found really immersive and engaging, because it tells a little bit different story, also interesting story with some development. However, I was not playing Red Dead Redemption 1 back then, and now I think that if I played Red Dead Redemption 1 first, I would enjoy episode less, I would say, mostly because of what they done to John Marston. It was brutal, and I'm not even talking about how he looks. I'm talking about that John Marston in Red Dead Redemption 1 and in Red Dead Redemption 2 are 2 completely different persons, and you cannot explain such huge change with just a character development. No, it's just completely different people. John Marston in Red Dead Redemption 1 is just an awesome protagonist. But anyway, let's come back to events of Red Dead Redemption 2. After completing the game, I had this weird feeling that on one hand, I played it for like 60 hours or even more, but on the other hand, I still feel like it's not enough. And you might say that's why Red Dead Online exists, for people who feel that it's not enough. But no, by that time I played few thousand hours in Red Dead Online already. It was different kind of not enough of a story. I want to see some DLC, I want to see some events that happened, before Blackwater robbery, between events of Red Dead Redemption 2 main part and the epilogue. It's not enough of a story, not enough of this universe, if you want. And since it's a Halloween, I should mention Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare. I played this for Red Dead Redemption 1 and had a lot of fun. In my opinion, it's a perfect DLC, and just imagining how cool would it be to receive the same kind of a story slash killing zombies game for Red Dead Redemption 2 with Red Dead Redemption 2 graphics, mechanics, and overall feeling, maybe having Arthur as a main protagonist for this Red Dead Redemption 2 Undead Nightmare. How cool it would be, how fast I would pay my money just to play this. Just thinking about this makes me sad and again surprised by how many opportunities Rockstar missed if we're talking about both Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online. But it was my personal experience with masterpiece that turns 4 years today. Let me know your story, did you enjoy it? Maybe you haven't completed it still, because I know that some portion of Red Dead Online players never completed Red Dead Redemption 2 story, which in my opinion is a mistake. I know it because I've made the same mistake. But anyway, let me know in the comments your story, and as always, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, goodbye. I have no idea how to wear this hat so it looks not stupid. I mean, really, just tell me in the comments, maybe you know some secret.